was my job to keep the actors from killing themselves.
I might be having a few side effects from my human growth hormones.
And I work with the director, assisting his vision.
Daniel, you're in the pretty big franchises in your career. And I'm curious, is it always like that on the set, how you guys are portraying here, a little bit comedic?
Well, is it?
It can be. But the funny thing is, I wasn't thinking about Marvel in my case, because that's a very well-oiled machine. It was very organized. It was fun. There was a good spirit when I worked with them. But there was one other film that I don't want to mention because I would find that rude. But that was a film that I did back in the days where I thought the minute I arrived, the shit hit the fan. And at the end, it had nothing to do with what I had read in the script. And it was a deeply frustrating process, which helped me for this show. Yeah.
Because I wasn't actually thinking about Marvel. You were in Kingsman, you were in Tarantino movies, and you saw lots of things. That's why I was asking. But Stephanie, also to you, I'm curious, what is your weirdest moment on set? Because you had plenty as well.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, what's my weirdest moment on set? I think it was doing a Peter Greenaway film. I mean, do I need to say any more? Do I need to explain, David? I think if you're familiar with Peter Greenaway, I think that's all I need to say, right? We were filming in a church in Oudekerk Church in the center of Amsterdam, like all through the night, and it was pretty crazy.
I'm curious, when you guys received the script for this show, does it all come back to you, like the weirdest things that you had on the set, that it's combined in one show?
I mean, there's so much truth in this show. When I read these first scenes, I cracked up laughing because, yeah, it reminded me of the absurdity, of the chaos, of the pressure and the pain and the humiliation that I have encountered in these, I don't know, last 25 years. And I found it quite embarrassing because I was sitting in a coffee shop in Berlin when I read the scenes, and they were so funny that I needed to stop, because there's nothing worse than, seeing an actor who goes like, so I stopped and ran home to read the rest because I loved it so much. I found it so funny. And that's why I backed Sam Mendes and the others to be in that project. I was really fighting to get into this one because I just found it so hilarious.
Whose idea was it that you would be actually speaking German in this one? It wasn't something that come up during the shoot, or it was already in the script?
No, I think they were looking for a European actor to play this director. So they wanted a European director. And then I think they were looking around in all these different countries.
You can't get more European than you, can you? I mean, you're like uber European.
Uber European.
You're uber European. You're European plus.
Thank you. Yes. But then I'm more German than maybe Spanish or the rest of my Europeanness. And so I was very thankful because I asked Sam Mendes the first time we were Zooming, are you sure you want a German on a comedy ship? Do you really want that? And he said, well, let's try it.
Well, that's one of the funniest things you ever said. There's only 3 funny people in Germany, and one of them is you.
In all modesty.
But that's not true, because one of my best friends is German, and she's hilarious. So
Number
let's
2,
just say we're not saying Germans aren't funny. They are very funny.
I have to remind you that I'm from Poland, and the German jokes are not so good with us. So.
Right.
And I want to ask you about your tandem, because you both are hilarious in your roles, and I'm curious how long it took you to play so good with each other, with the words, with throwing your sentences between you guys.
Well, I feel it like maybe it was that chess match that we never finished.
Oh yes.
Yes, maybe that's what kind of like took us there, but it felt quite instant with everybody, really.
Yeah, I was winning, wasn't I?
No, I was winning.
You were winning.
I was winning.
Yeah.
And then you were, and then we kind of just wandered away from the game, which I thought at the time was politic and wise. because I didn't know how things would go in the
Yeah.
series if I actually did beat you at that moment.
I
So
didn't
I
want
just
to
pulled
lose.
back.
Yeah. No, I remember. Yeah, we were playing chess.
And that
we
worked.
were putting jigsaw puzzles together. I think after we bonded. All of us did pretty quickly. I remember. Huh?
Yeah.
There was not, and there wasn't any exception. Or there was just a very good vibe on this show. A great casting by Nina Gold. A golden cast. Honestly, sometimes these people are not appreciated and respected enough. So for me, again, as a German, to be invited to such a dance between the best of England and the best of America, because I hadn't done comedy before, that heightened.
And in many ways
kind of
to end
comedy.
up the queen of the ball.
The queen of the.
In many ways, in all the right ways.
You see, there's a good chemistry here.
Yeah, I can see that.
We're not
But
playing
you
chess.
say you're not good in comedy, and I have to say, after the last show for Malvo that you do, your dance that is going viral, I think one of the comedic gold of what we had in a few last years. If you know,
Yeah, and that is why I think Marvel will have a laugh. I think they have sense of humor. This is why, because I was asked a couple of times, will they be, how will they see a show like this, being a satire of, these franchises. And I think people at Marvel will understand and laugh and find it funny.
probably they will say it's not about us; it's about Warner Brothers and DC franchises.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also, I'm very curious. Like when you guys were reading in the script, is there any place there for your jokes, for some improvisation, or you have to stick to the sheets as long as you need?
I mean, I think if you just sort of say it and you don't ask and then they use it, then that's a good thing. But generally, you stick to the script. But then if something comes up and you try it and they like it, then that's good. But generally, it's a very scripted comedy, and it's really a script writer's kind of show. And we kind of all really understood that, that's the brief. This is about writers creating the best possible comedy, and so that's very much about kind of trying to working with the writers to create the best jokes in the situation. So sometimes that would mean trying different things on the day, which I mean, when I would watch Himesh, and also you, when you had kind of long tracts. And then trying something new, kind of like off the cuff, like on the day. And you always just did it. Everyone just sort of, to my mind, seemed to just do it effortlessly.
Yeah.
But it was about, working really, really hard on the day, all the time, to just make the jokes work in their best, to make the jokes sing in the best possible way. And that was about
I was only
working with
asking.
writers.
I was only asking because some of the conversation between you two in the first episodes were so quick that I thought sometimes that it's improvised because it was like too quick to
No, I think
learn.
it was all scripted. Yeah,
Scripted.
all
It's
scripted.
hard. Comedy is the hard. That's why, to make it work, you have to find the groove. It's like with music. It's jazz, So you have to be. You have to find the right tune. I mean, we were invited. What is always funny is if you work with different directors. And I remember that there was one who whispered things to some actors' ears without letting the other know. So you would always be. We shot a couple of takes that were, the ones that were on the page. But then
They whisper
there
things
was
like, ignore her.
So you would be
What's happening?
exactly. So
I
you
didn't
would.
even know that. This is the first time I've even heard
Oh, no?
that.
No?
I didn't even know that.
No,
I'd never got whispered. Nobody ever whispered to me.
Oh no! Well, yeah. No, so I got surprised by Richard saying to me, "Listen, you little something sausage, you are not Werner Herzog," and that was not in the. And so I goes, "What are you talking about?" So, and that was nice that things were happening that were not scripted, and so we were every now and then we were invited to improvise, which I was happy about, to that you can let loose and you just can, if you feel strongly about a joke, you at least want to try it, and you don't want to be scared and anxious and think like, oh, will they find it funny? So there was a spirit of, more and more so throughout the show, because I guess in the pilot that we did, everybody was also crampier because you just start and you have to find the groove. And then we bonded so well again as a group that by the end of the show, it became like a...
And I think that kind of permission to improvise whenever it comes, it really fosters creativity. And it kind of makes you feel like they trust you to just have a go. And then you sometimes it ups your game. And you're like, right, okay, this is my chance to do something hilarious. Yeah. And then you do something really not funny. Like you kind of go, and everyone goes, no, wrong, sorry, mistake. Moving on. You're like, I messed it up. Lunch, exactly.
You can feel the tension between you guys. It's hilarious and I love the show. Thank you very much.
Dziękuję.
Bardzo proszę.